Well, hi. What is up? It is your girl Kayla G here with another episode of Big. Today, first of all, relax. Okay, hands off the wheel, foot off the gas. Let's calm down for a sec. Okay. I've got sourdough underneath my nails. I'm trying to make some bread. Why do I start every episode getting country as fuck on y'all? Oh my gosh. Anyway, um, this episode is possibly a week late because your girl just was living her life. So just like be cool about it. Don't be fucking weird. Um, yeah, I was traveling. I had some razzle dazzle going on in my own life, which I kind of touched on. But, like I just took a little tea break and like I think that's fine. And that's all. Cool. Glad we got that hard stuff out of the way. Now, observe. Can you see it? I'm dumb. So I wrote in my fun little book for this week's episode because I just fucking felt like I was on a plane. Can you see? You can't see. But I was on a plane and I thought that me not talking into the fucking mic. Cool. Let's see what I can do here. No, we're actually not gonna fuck with that today. So I was on a plane and I was feeling like so cottagecore and I was like, instead of writing it in my fucking phone, let me use a notebook like they did in the olden days. Am I right, boys? So yeah, this is my fun written episode, and it's actually worse than all the normal ones. Just kidding. But it is a bunch of shenanigans because the title of this episode is 30 minutes of being insufferable, and that was the first thing I thought of because I've just been talking. I've just been yapping about all the topics, and right now I just got an amalgam of shit in my brain to word vomit on y'all. Are you ready? Cool. So glad. Okay, so now buckle up, foot on the gas, hands on the wheel, 10 and 2. Let's rock. The first thing I want to talk about, which is just fucking funny to me, is that you guys know, my 3 followers, you guys know that I have been working diligently, hard, if you will. I hired somebody to help me edit. Like, I'm trying to take this son of a bitch seriously. And been posting regularly, been doing the thing that people say to do. Blah, blah, blah. Post consistently every day. Blah, 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 blah. Did that. Hey, guess which video took off a little bit? If you said the one where I'm talking about shitting my pants and wearing an adult diaper, you'd be correct. That's the one that tens of thousands of people have viewed. Oh, that's good. Come on, y'all. I have so many prolific quotes. I am so funny. And the one that fucking pops off is me talking about doo-doo and myself. What if the wrong person sees that? And now I'm a little bit worried. Because I actually didn't even think about that before. Like I did, but not about that. So that's something to think about. However, not only is that the video that popped off, but I have a bunch of creepy men. Like, I'm getting more followers, so hey, I'm not gonna talk shit, but I am about to talk shit on the fact that they're all creepy men, and most of them are like, how often do you shit your pants? Like, me too, I shit my pants. Blah, 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 blah. And just the quality of follower that I'm gaining is not what I was hoping for. I was looking for the girls who shit their pants. Hey, where are we at, sisters? Where are we at? Where are you at? I am calling you. Hello! That's my rallying cry for my shitting in their pants sisters. And none of y'all stepped out. None of y'all stepped out. You left me hanging with the fucking dudes who like when women shit their pants. I feel the white shit forming on the crusties on my mouth. Oh, that's disgusting. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. Oh, the next thing is juicy. Ooh! So, me, a healing girl, me, a completely healed person who doesn't need to work on herself anymore. Obviously, you guys know that I've gotten in a relationship, and me realizing I am not fully healed as I thought I was like, bitch, I'm perfect. I don't need any help. I'm good. Like, blah, 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 which I didn't actually think. But like, I thought I was more healed than I was. And then getting into this relation, like, I realized things that are, I'm like, ooh, like, this is coming up. Ooh, this is coming up. Ooh, we should probably work on that. So I started going to therapy. I used to like, oh shit, on therapy. So my bad. But one night I was spiraling real bad, real bad. And I decided to go on BetterHelp. So BetterHelp sponsor me. Especially with this story. So, if you don't know what BetterHelp is, it's basically a therapy website. And if you don't know what it is, you live under a rock because everyone knows what BetterHelp is. Okay, bye. But basically, you answer like a questionnaire and you get matched to a therapist, which I did. And I already liked the looks of her. She was an older woman, which I like. Like, I want an older therapist who's been through some shit. I don't want like a 22-year-old to be like, you know? So she's an older woman. She's like probably seen a lot of life. She lives in Texas, as do I. I think they have to. And like she sent me a message and she was like, "Hey girl, I see you." And I was like, "Bet." So the first therapy session comes around and she's like I don't want to talk shit, but like she might be in her 80s. She might be like late sevs. But like she's like old enough that she talks really slow. And so at first I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work out. Sorry. But then we're talking and she starts asking me like this line of questions that I'm like, okay, I like this. Like she's really getting the whole picture. She's asking me about my child. She's basically starting from conception. She's like, what was your childhood like? You know, like, are your parents divorced? Like, blah, blah, blah. She's asking like, but like the line of questioning was so good. And I've been in therapy before and I've never been asked questions like that. Maybe this is like some shit that I just don't know about, or my therapist before didn't know about, or my two therapists before didn't know about. But anyway, she asked such a particular line of questions that like I recognize was painting such a vivid picture for her. And it wasn't even that deep. It was just like, you know, I can't even remember, but it's like, where did you grow up, in a suburb or a city, or like things that you wouldn't think impact your life, but like really do. And so then at the end of it, she goes, have you heard of a term called cognitive distortion? I think was the term. Or destruction. I don't know, but I have a packet on it. I'm gonna do my homework, Debbie. God, I know. Her name's Debbie. And I feel like she loves a Slam Jam. Or not a Slam Jam, a Virginia Slam, but probably a Slam Jam too. She's country. I think she's country. She's been in Texas for 20 years is what I know. Anyway, don't go looking for my girl because she's mine. Anyway, asks me this line of questioning that's like deep, like not deep, but like paints a good picture. And then like haven't gone into super any specifics yet. I was just like, here's what my childhood was like at a bird's eye view. My last relationship, abusive. Now in a really good relationship, don't want to fuck it up. Is basically what we got to. And she goes, have you heard of this term, cognitive distortion or destruction, whichever one? And I was like, no, I haven't. And she said, okay. And she was like, well, that's when blah, 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 blah. Like you think very black and white. Like she said a few things that I have literally said out loud about myself in the last 2 months to people, like to friends when I'm venting, or to my boyfriend when I'm like trying to explain why I maybe didn't like act the best in like a disagreement. I'll be like, I have this like way of thinking. It's not great, but like I know this about myself. But I didn't know. I just call it like I think very black and white. Is what I say. And the first thing she said was like, you think very black and white. And then she like said a few other things. And I said, Debbie. I said, Debbie, you have pinned me down. And she said, she laughed actually. She gave me a little ha ha. And then she went on and I was like, God damn. So now I'm like, this bitch is legit. And I knew I wanted an older therapist because she's seen it. She knows what's up. Anyway. So then she asks me a few more questions, and then she's like, have you ever been on medication? And then I could see her trying to go the medication route. And I'm like, baby girl, I prefer to be unmedicated is what I am. So don't even go there. You're going to have to deal with my crazy ass because we're not taking any of that. I don't like it. And she was like, all right, still asking me some questions. And I could tell she was like leading the witness, but I was like, girl, you're not going to get anything from me. I could see her diagnosing me. And I was like, whatever, that's fine. Who among us hasn't tried to diagnose me? I'm just kidding. I'm actually pretty normal, so shut the fuck up. But yeah, I just thought it was so crazy that this was a 45-minute session. And, you know, the first bit was pleasantries. Like the first 15, 20 minutes was like pleasantries and like getting to know the platform. She like explained a lot about the platform and what's offered. And like she blah, 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 blah. And then like the last like 25 minutes was really me talking about myself and then her just like hitting the nail on the fucking head. I was like, I've never felt so seen, but also scared. I'm scared. And yeah, I'm excited to be in therapy, I guess. I'm excited to have someone who I feel like understands me because the last therapist I went to was also like she wasn't this old. She was probably like in her 50s, but you could just tell her workload was so fucking big because she just like, well, we'll see what happens with Miss Debbie, but this last woman, like I basically had to like refresh her memory of who the fuck I was every single time. And that's one thing I liked about Debbie. She was like, I'm going to take diligent notes just so you know, because like, I don't want to forget who you are and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, thank you. Because the last woman literally was like in real time remembering who I was. And that was not cool. Like take 5 minutes to read my fucking chart before you log on. Okay. I get it. Your workload's probably crazy. I fucking get it. But at the same time, do your job. All right. So yeah, I just thought I would share. I used to have like kind of a weird conception of therapy just because I did it as a child, not a child, I guess a teenager. My mom put me in therapy because I was really kind of a bitch and like couldn't handle my big emotions. And I had some issues for sure. And I went to therapy. I'll just say it. I was bulimic. And I went to therapy and I just lied the whole time. Like, she was like, you're not anymore. And I'm like, nope, I'm healed. And she was like, you graduated therapy. Like, I remember we went to therapy for like a year and she was like, you're done, you're healed. And I was like, girl, she was young. She was like, I remember what her name, and I remember she was pregnant towards the end. She was probably in her 30s because she was having a baby. And yeah, late 20s, probably early 30s. And I was like, you don't know enough. Because I was literally just like, nope, haven't pulled the trigger in a while. Like, girl, I so fucking was. But yeah, so that was like my first introduction to therapy. And then the second time I ever went to therapy was in college. I tried to go to the free therapist, which took 4 weeks to see, which I recognize is probably not that long. But to me at that time, who didn't know much about therapy, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I need someone right now. I'm not doing good. But so I saw this woman. I like word vomited for a couple. I maybe went to her twice. And I don't remember anything about the session. And I clearly didn't find value in it because I didn't keep going. And then the third time was towards the end of my abusive relationship. Obviously, I was like, I need help and help me. And so I can't remember if I told her that I was being abused or not. I probably said like verbally. But like I would like talk to her. I don't even remember what we talked about either. I just remember like after the third or fourth time, I was like, how do you like not remember who I am at fucking all? And then I stopped seeing her. So I've always had a bad taste in my mouth about therapy. I know for some people it's been really helpful, but I also think that therapy is a hit or miss. I think there are some really good therapists out there, but I also think that some therapists are so afraid to like not be affirming because of what happens in this world, that like everyone's just a yes man. And I don't think that that's what a therapist should be. I think a therapist should like help you think critically, call me crazy, and not like confirm delusions. So that's a rabbit hole we won't get down, baby girl. But I think there's a lot of just like kind of and not even like purposefully shitty, like they're just trying to like live, and I get it. Or they're delulu too, and that's, I get that too. But I also think therapists, or not therapists, psychiatrists overprescribe medication, and I think that that is crazy to do if someone's not. I think it's crazy. Like this woman didn't ask me about working out, didn't ask me about my nutrition before she really, like I could tell she was going down the medication route. And I think it's absolutely insane if a therapist doesn't like ask you about your eating habits, if you get sunlight in your fucking face during the day, if you work out, like all those things. Like if you want to tell me, fuck, like, you know what, fuck on me right now. It does matter, okay? Like I get that there can still be hormonal imbalances after that, but if you're at the bare min not doing that, don't fucking come at me right now. Don't fucking come at me right now. I don't like your tone. So all that's to say, I've had a bad taste with therapy, but we're going to give her another go because I've been finding that I need just like an objective third party, because as much as I think I spoke about this recently, like I don't feel like I have a figure in my life that I can vent to and ask advice for, that like I respect enough, or like want their advice. Like I'm kind of picky. Like I don't want advice from people whose my motto is I don't want advice from people whose lives I wouldn't want, or at least that aspect of their life. And like talking to my girlfriends, some of them are younger, so I'm like, as much as I love you, and like usually they're just affirming me as well, it's just not necessarily what I need. I need someone to like help me dissect and like truly be an objective third party, because even my friends, like they're always going to, as much as maybe they don't want to, or like maybe they try not to, like they're always going to have a little bias towards me in my favor, I feel like, unless I'm like, hey, like I cheated on him and I don't give a fuck, and like, should I not tell him? Say yes. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, fun, objective, third party moment for me and Miss Debbie. I love her so much. Can't wait. Debbie Deb. Me and Debbie like this. Okay. That's done. What's the next little thing I got written here? Well, only on bullet number now going to 3, and I've got like 18 more bullets, so we probably won't hit all of these today. Like, what the fuck is that? Guys, today, or maybe yesterday, I woke up with the song Love Shack in my head for God knows what reason, because I've not listened to that song in such a long time. So much hair falling out. But I woke up singing it. I put it on my way to work in the car. In the car. I can't fucking talk. And just like, oh my God, I was in my car, like I could not fucking not move. I was funky little shack, monkey little shack, and I was doing that. And then I got to work and had a fucking absolute crush slay the day. Like I had such a good day yesterday at work. And then this morning I woke up, I did the same thing because I was like, history repeats itself. Let's get this thing cooking. So I threw on that song, and then I put on Funky Town. And I had such a good fucking day. So if you're in a slump, put that shit on. Put that shit on. Oh my God, I'm just burping. I'm throwing up in my mouth. I'm fucking, Okay. So the next topic of discussion is, I just wrote, patterns are a problem with you. And I'm positive I saw a TikTok about this, but I can't remember. I'm sorry, creator, whoever you were. But it was a fucking bar. And I realized, like I've said the same thing in a different way. I've said, like, if everyone is pointing the finger at you, like at some point you have to look at yourself. I think when people like consistently run into the same issue, like that's a you problem. Like if you're consistently dating shitty men, if you're consistently being treated poorly by men, if you're consistently like gaining weight, if you're consistently getting let go at work, if you're consistently being treated like shit at work, if you're consistently breaking your own routines, like whatever it is, or like you like constantly are getting sick because you're running yourself ragged, like I feel like a lot of people will be like, why is this happening to me? Like, why do I keep dating shitty men? Why does my job like take advantage of me? Why do I like physically feel so sick all the time? And like, other than like, obviously fucking illness, like obviously, like, I think there are things, I think all of those things are easy to be, I don't believe in coincidences, and I don't believe that the world is happening to you. I think you 1,000% create your reality, and like you literally create your reality. I don't think that like the world happens to you. And I know I just said that 6 times in a row. Hey, where am I going with this? Great question. So glad you asked. I just glitched. We create, and I'll say it again, we create our reality. And what do I mean by that? I say for the 1,000th time is you're not like, shitty men aren't just treating you like shit. You're consistently picking shitty men. And if you think like, no, hey, yeah, it's you. Like you're either attracting, giving off an energy, and or just pursuing shitty men. And you might not think that, but I can tell you, you are. And if you want to challenge me on that, slide into my DMs and we can fucking fight. We can fight. And it might be something like you genuinely don't like. I'm not saying it's like 100% your fault, but it's your job to recognize like, okay, it must be something I'm doing. Like even if you're like, ask someone else, asked glitch, asked an objective third party. And what I'm saying is ask an objective third party. Ask an objective third party. Like don't ask your friends, don't ask your family. Like find a therapist, find a Reddit forum. Genuinely ask me, bitch. I'm here for you. Ask me and I will do my best to answer of like what it could possibly be that like you might be doing wrong. And it's not even like you're wrong. It's just like it's just not, it's just like you're wrong. Like it's not you're wrong. It's a gentle babe, like you're wrong. Let's change. Like for an example, like I always go back to dating, but it's what I know best. No, but anyway, like I've said before with profiles, like you might be giving out just a certain energy, and like you just have to learn to like you just have to modify that. You have to modify that shit. And the way that you're swiping, it's all a gentle modification. It's not like, you know what, I don't fucking know. You know what I mean, okay? And another thing on that vein is like God will keep putting those patterns will keep reoccurring until you learn the lesson. So if you are continuously choosing shitty men, like God is going to make sure you understand. Like he wants you to learn, like, why am I choosing shitty men? He wants you to figure that shit out so you can learn from it. He's not just going to put a good man in your path because then you won't know why he's here. You won't know what attracts him. You don't know what keeps him. And I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm talking for the Lord, apparently. I'm a conduit. No, I'm not. That's blasphemy. But you know what I'm saying. Okay, and the next bullet I have for no fucking reason is literally because I was writing this on a plane. And I wrote, I like to be melancholy on planes. Be deep and moody. Let me be the main character. Separately, apart from that sentence, mysterious. And that is so fucking true. I do some of my best thinking on an airplane. I've figured out, one time I read the book, The Alchemist. I read that entire book on a plane, and then I figured out my entire life afterwards. I actually read that book like the week I decided to get sober. On my way back from Christmas break, which at that point I had already not been drinking for a couple days. I was like, I'm not drinking anymore. But I read that book, and then I figured out my whole entire life. I wrote out everything. I was like, here are my goals. Here's blah, here's blah, here's blah, here's blah. Here's how I do it. And I figured it all out. So how about that? But I also journal really well. I just have really good thinking. And I think it's because I'm like not on my phone. And I tend to listen to like moody music. You know what I mean? My sourdough is about to be done. So give me like 30 seconds, queen. Christ. Did you hear me singing Love Shack over there? All right. Other than being moody on planes, what else we got here, boys? I saw Mr. Beast on you know when your hands you know when your hands are so dry and then you like rub paper a certain type of way? Oh my god, I can't touch this notebook. Oh, I just got chills. Oh, I saw Mr. Beast on TikTok, and he said, whenever I don't want to push through, I remember that 99% of people wouldn't. And if I can do it, then I'm set it. Okay, so words are hard. Whenever I don't want to push through, I remember that 99% of people wouldn't. And if I can, then I'm setting myself apart from them. First of all, Mr. Beast and I have history. He like started in Greenville, North Carolina, which is where I went to college at ECU. And he, like before he was super popping off, like he used to come in to the sushi restaurant that I used to work at. Shout out Shogun. And he once tipped my friend like $2,000 in a little thingy. So that was cool. But yeah, it's so crazy. I'm like, oh, we like lived adjacently. And I matched with one of his friends on Tinder or something back then. I forgot his name. But he had like brown flippy hair, which I know narrows it down, and like big eyes. Whatever. He worked with him. Okay, so Mr. Beast, baby boy, said that thing. And I'm just like simultaneously a hard worker and a fucking slug. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I feel really good about myself and I'm like, you go, girl. But there are other areas of my life where I'm just a fucking slug. And I'm like, you can sleep when you're dead. But then I'm also like, prioritize rest. But then I'm also like, go, accomplish your dreams. But then I'm also like, oh my God, but I literally need to sleep. Like if I don't sleep, then I can't accomplish my dreams. And then I'm like, you can just run on 7 hours of sleep. And then I'm like, no, I really don't run that well on 7 hours of sleep. And then I just don't sleep. And then I don't do anything. And then I try to do things because I chug a lot of coffee and then I don't sleep. And then it's a cycle. You see what I'm saying? So, and Mr. Beast is like, I'll do it because I'm fucking tired. I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should take that stance. I'm talking so fast. I feel like a blah, 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 blah. But I do feel like I need to find that balance, but also maybe not. I feel like for me, it's working out. For me, like I can grind at work. I can do yoga for the most part, and I can cook, and I can do all my side projects for the most part. But like when it comes to working out for me, that's like where I let myself go. And that's so bad. It's literally I need to take care of myself. But like if it's not a walk or yoga, I don't want to do it right now because I just don't have the mental fortitude, which is so fucking lazy of me. But I really, like, I'm thinking about this quote when I'm like, just go for a 30-minute walk, bitch. Like, I don't know why it's so hard for me to take care of myself in that respect, but it really, really is. I wrote me trying to convince myself to go for a 30-minute walk, me trying to convince myself to see sunlight, me trying to make myself make dinner instead of eating cheese for the third night in a row. So maybe I could cook better too. Yeah, sometimes I just be snacking. Sometimes I just eat snacks. But I feel like that's normal. But is that good? That doesn't mean it's good. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But I think maybe this is just a quote for y'all to keep in mind. If you're feeling fucking lazy like me sometimes, hey, don't. Hey, don't you piece. No, I'm just kidding. But like, am I? Cool. And that's pretty much it, boys. We actually got through all of them. I'm proud of me. Am I? Whatever. Anyway, this has been an episode of Big Sister Sesh. Thanks for listening to me yap for 40 minutes straight, or maybe just 30. 30 minutes straight. I hope you enjoyed it. Peace, love. Peace, love, light. Bye.